it didn't feel right not doing the last one to camera, as much as the camera is really trying to make me not. This is my 4th attempt at recording it. I'm finishing off the pina coladas, as well as probably the daiquiris that I bought at the same time, because why not, honestly. Yes, this really was the year that wasn't, bar, you know, me doing this and having this and not knowing what I'm doing next, although I have plans. A lot of them require other people, which we can't do at the moment. Back to the year that wasn't thing. Everything that tries to happen, every time we try to do something, something else happens. It started all the way back at the end of March, beginning of April. We were trying to plan so all to get together, have a few days with the house to ourselves, you know, parents going away for the weekend, for a long weekend actually, I think, getting everyone in, and having a blast watching WrestleMania and all the WrestleMania weekend stuff. But that never happened. That got cancelled, WrestleMania got completely changed, and since then everything's been locked down and excuse me, progressively worse, I think. Progressively lamer. Not actually worse. We do have days today that aren't just New Year's Eve. I was actually considering taking and waiting until midnight and having a similar thing, but it's kind of a moot point. Make up your mind day, which I guess I'm not actually checking what any of these things are thing for today because it feels appropriate for the last one. Also because I don't think about it beforehand. Yeah, make up your mind day sounds to me like it is very like it's probably connected to like New Year's resolutions and stuff. Like, make up your mind, decide what you're doing. That's where my mind goes, considering it's New Year's. But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not checking. Don't feel like checking. It'd be wrong to check now, I think. But yeah, I guess I need to make up my mind on what the hell we're doing next year. But again, a lot of that will weigh on how much of the... I mean, Georgia was supposed to be here today, but they decided yesterday, pretty much, that they were going to change everyone's tiers and all the fucking rules. And, well, now I'm alone again. Which has been that's I think been the worst thing about this year, is not being trapped inside. It's been not being able to see people we hold close and, you know, our friends and stuff. I'm like, yeah, I'm living with my parents. You know, I'm living with my parents, so I'm not alone. But honestly, I think I'd rather be alone because then I could at least do stuff. You know, I could get weird, but I can't really get weird on my own because I've only got this space, and even then I've got to not make too much noise. If you haven't got what I'm talking about stuff, you're probably in the wrong place. For a few different reasons, I kind of didn't want today's video to be edited like that. But, you know, the camera is a temperamental fucking cunt. So I will keep putting breaks in, at least for now. But, yeah, the other reason is because it's No Interruptions Day, which is apparently the last working day of the year. Which, New Year's... yeah, I mean, some people stay up over New Year's Eve, I guess. Even if it's like a half holiday pay normally, or something like that. Or, you know, whatever. You know, you get the point. But, and I guess technically I am working today, because this is my work. As much as I still don't make any fucking money from it. Yeah, because the other reason is just it doesn't feel right breaking it, but I am breaking it. So, just because the camera's awful. But yeah, like I don't know what I'm going to say. I feel like I should have a lot to say, but I also feel like I should have people to talk to today. Like, I feel like today shouldn't be me on my own. It feels weird. It feels wrong. It's felt wrong all day, knowing that I'm not expecting anyone to come today. I'm not expecting to do anything. I'm not expecting to, you know, be able to do anything. I've messaged people on Discord, but I know how good people are at getting back to me when I put a message on my Discord about doing stuff, so I just don't expect to do anything. I don't expect people. And I don't know if it's because I have been for so long. I have a host, normally, actually, yeah, almost always hosting a New Year's event. It feels weird now. Doing nothing and being on my own feels very hollow and empty. Universal Hour of Peace. Sure, whatever. I wish we had more than just an hour of peace in the world. Fucking bullshit. National Champagne Day, or Champagne Day, and Leap Second Time Adjustment Day. Your last two. Champagne is fine. You know, it's just sparkly wine, it's fine. And the Leap Second Day. I'll read the thing in brackets. Note, this is listed as an observance title only. Some years scientists do not make adjustments, but if they do, then it is done either on June 30th or December 31st. There you go. It's got nothing to do with the fact that we had a leap year this year, apparently. Yes, it is 366. This is the last fucking one. I didn't even take into consideration the fact that there was going to be 366 when I started, because I didn't realise that this was a leap year, but hey, it's a leap year, so you get this extra video, or you get an extra video. Numerically, I don't know if you count this as the extra one, or the actual leap day one as the extra one, and I honestly don't care either way. 4 times. Well, it was 4 times last time, so let's see if it decides to stop being an ass now. Yes, the camera's being a dick. As it often is, which is why I stopped using the camera. That is the main reason I stopped using the camera so often. Like, editing, sure, it's a pain in the ass, but it's worth doing. Fucking setting up, taking the time to set up and put down the camera. Again, pain in the ass, but it's worth doing. Biting the fucking camera because it constantly keeps deciding it can't, at completely random intervals, that it can't recognize the memory card anymore, that's not fucking worth it. Having to repeat myself over and over and over again, not because the lines are bad, but because the camera is not recording it, or decides at a random point midway through a recording session that it can't save it. That is a pain in the ass. That's why I don't do it anymore. That's why I stopped doing it. As I've been trying to say all these times, excuse me, it's the end of the year. So we should wrap up the year, but I don't know what to say, because the world's been fucking awful, and it's been destroyed, it's been overtaken by stupidity and viruses, and a virus that keeps going because of stupidity, and idiotic government, and people realizing, oh, right, yeah, the world is ruled by capitalism, and capitalism is fucking awful. Why not keep the country closed for longer? So we can actually wait for everything to pass over. Then we'll restart everything. Why not freeze all, like, outgoings, like utilities and rent, as a government, so people aren't collapsing under their own weight of outgoings with no incomes going because no one's working. Also because why not put more in place for all those people losing their jobs because of the thing, or make it literally illegal for people to fire people just because of that, just because of the global situation. Capitalism, because the people in charge are just as much skin in the game as everyone else, and they want to make more money. So fuck you. Fuck your health. We want money, and we can't get money if the world's closed. Go fuck yourself. That's it. That's it. And that's what's been getting my goat this year. And yeah, no, fuck it. This is turning into one of these rants because I'm pissed because the camera kept restarting. So this is the version you're getting. And God, I hope I don't have to do something again, because I am probably going to have an absolute aneurysm and fit. This is how bad I am after 4, the second lot of 4, that piece. So yeah, let's not go again. Let's not go again. Please, God, let's not have to go again. But yeah, it's a mess. It's a fucking mess. The whole thing's been a mess. And there's plenty of decent solutions that they go, no, because we're not decent people. We're money whores and we want more money. Give us more money. Fucking money. Oh, fuck you. Like, yes, money makes the world go round because people made it that way. And the rich keep getting richer and the poor stay poor because, again, income line, I should do this the other way. Income line. Outgoings line. They both go up, but one goes up way faster than the other. It's a system doomed to fail. It's a system doomed to fail. The world's fucking shit. It's like government. We have 3 parties barely, and we are slowly trying to get more and expand, and it's fine. But then we do system based on local seats that makes no fucking sense because you should be voting for a party, not the representative of the party. Like, you should be voting for the party overall, not your local representative. Because we do local elections, but we also do proper elections. But proper elections also tie directly to local elections. Like, these should be 2 separate entities, really. And that's not to mention America, which not only has 2 parties. You have some small people who are also going, but you have 2 fucking parties, and that's it. If it's not one of those 2 parties, well, good luck. Like, you want one of these, you hate this guy and you hate this guy? Too fucking bad. That's how you got Trump in the first place. Because you hated Trump, you hated Hillary, and you got one of them because you had to, because you only have 2 people. It's fucking awful. It's fucking awful. And people realized it's fucking awful, but now, to the point where this year, it wasn't even a case, so many people, it wasn't a case of, oh, I'm voting for Joe Biden, it's, I'm not voting for fucking Trump. Right? Right? Like, it's unbelievable how stupid the world has become. In general, and it's taken the world ending pretty much for people to realize this. Not to mention things like Karens, the rise of the Karen. It's a trope kind of for years, but now it's a trope to a whole new level. It's trope to the point where they're calling it a slur. Motherfuckers are getting offended. Y'all getting offended? Oh, poor baby getting offended. Well, maybe stop being an ass. Stop being a cunt. Stop being a bitch and we won't treat you like one. Right? Right. And also those like, it's on par with the N-word. No. No. One, you're saying the N-word and we're saying Karen. And there's a big difference there. But even if we were to say both, or not say both, the N-word is tied to a fuck ton of history. A whole lot of bad shit that a whole lot of bad people did. Because they owned people. They made claim to people, and not in the kinky way. In the, no, we own you as in legally and you have to do everything we say. And again, not in the fun way. I mean, maybe sometimes, but I don't think it's, I even think then it's no longer fun, is it? Because it's literal slavery, not, you know, the fun kinky kind. And yes, I know the fun kinky kind can also be literal slavery, but that's still different. But it's, you know, about this ownership of people, the racist race deprivation that is not only gone on for years but is still being prevalent. Again, America has a police force that's basically based off of, you know, wanting to keep black people in line. As awful as that is to say, a non-zero amount of your fucking police force is designed that way. So that sucks. And that's how you've got, you know, all of that shit that's happened this year as well. But Karen is a really generic white woman name that we have taken, or the internet has taken, to basically group and easily refer to, and not directly have to name, you know, entitled, selfish, stupid fucking cunts. That's it. That is the entire story. I had to Cliff Notes the N-word, but I explained the entire Karen story behind the word Karen. Like, can you see the difference, dipshits? Of course you can, because if you're watching this, you're probably not one of the stupid people, but you get the point. And I think stupid people is almost the best way to sum up 2020 as a whole. Because we are in this situation we are now. We are still in this situation we are now because of stupid people. If people were smart, we'd have... People were super smart, and I mean everyone pretty much universally, especially governments that are actually working, would have 2, maybe 3 months, lockdown, everything stopped, all the economic freezing that I mentioned earlier, would wait it out, it'd be fully waited out, and then we'd go about our lives. But that didn't happen. Of course that didn't happen, because that's unrealistic. That's terribly idealistic. So what did we expect to happen? Okay, maybe like a 5-6 month period. We'd have a month of solid lockdown, then we'd slowly bring life back into existence. And then what's that? People aren't buying to the lockdown. Then people aren't buying to the follow the rules, and people don't believe it exists, and people aren't wearing a face covering to keep. This is a thing that Asian countries have been doing for years. Japan does it all the time. Oh, you got a bit of a cold, a bit sniffly, a bit coughy. Instead of having to cough into your arm or thing, just wear a face mask. Just gonna wear a face mask. I'm gonna go around, wear the face mask, and not infect other people. It's not a thing that doesn't exist elsewhere in the world. And this isn't a historical thing like the argument with the Greeks and homophobia. This is modern times. Countries like Japan do this anyway. They're just now doing it on a much, much bigger scale. So just because we have to also adapt that custom doesn't make it in slavery or enforcement of whatever. And the argument of, why do healthy people have to wear masks? Because it's that contagious, because so many people have it, because it's a lot, because as much as a sick person wearing a mask reduces the amount that's going to spread, do you know what reduces it even more? You also wearing it, I will use an example I saw online. If you and another person are both standing stark bollock naked, and that person starts pissing, you're probably both going to get pissy. If you're wearing pants and that person starts pissing, your pants are going to stop some of it, but you're probably still going to get kind of wet, and they're definitely still getting wet. If they're wearing pants and you're not, then they're making a whole mess of themselves, and there'll probably be some splash and you'll get thing, but not nearly as much as you would if if they weren't wearing anything. You're both wearing pants, no skin to skin piss distribution is going to happen, right? All of that piss is going to get on your skin. You might get a little bit on your clothes, but that's a lot more manageable, right? As ridiculous as that is, that's a fine statement. That is a decent explanation. I'm going to cut the recording because I've been going for 12 minutes and don't want to lose it. Although, considering I'm going off on one, I should specify lose it, the recording, not lose it as my mental state continues to deteriorate through the duration of however long this ends up being, because the other problem with me putting gaps in it and me putting breaks in it means I'm not bound by that 20-minute time limit the camera has, so this is going to go on until it stops. I've got no stop on me. This goes until I run out of ideas. And God, is this year full of fuel for that. I am dead inside, more than usual. And yeah, I guess this is what happens when you leave me the fuck alone for too long, because I get mad and I get pissed. Yes, I mean mad as in mad, not mad as in mad, because I mean pissed as in mad. Not pissed as in pissed, because I don't get drunk. I'm drinking, but I don't get drunk, so. Yes, no, where was I? I mean, yeah, it's been such a mess of the year. It's been such a mess of the year. And I wish I could see the version of this from reality where the world wasn't shut down. From where we could go and do stuff and, And maybe, and I mean maybe, hard maybe, I do this again in 4 years. Because if I'm doing it again, I want to do it in a leap year again. And I'm doing it again, I've got 2 reasons. One, because I actually want to do stuff. And if I do it again on the pretense of I actually want to do stuff, then every fucking day I'm doing something. None of this talking to camera bullshit. Certainly none of this just talking to my phone in this room bullshit. If I'm doing it again, in its entirety, without the other reason, and even, honestly, even with the other reason, I'm doing shit every single fucking day. Even today. Fuck it. Like, what? It's National Champagne Day, so get some champagne in. Actual champagne if possible, especially with the other. The other reason I've mentioned before, I will do the series again with a proper budget. With a real big budget. Like, if I have a budget where I could just go to Hawaii purely for the sake of National Hawaii Day, that's the kind of budget we're looking at. So, I'm talking a big fucking budget. I'm not going to do that for every state day, and I will probably still have the running gag of, why the fuck do we have a day for all these states, man? It's a fucking waste of time. But yeah, like, just going back through some of the past days. National Bicarbonate Soda Day we had yesterday. Let's make a fucking Birkin soda volcano. Let's do it. Let's fucking do it. Like, it's completely random, it's completely weird, but it's got a tie and it's a thing, right? It's not just talking to camera, it's doing a thing. And that, like, and I don't need a massive budget, right? If I had the massive budget, I'd definitely do it. But just having enough of a budget to sustain it and actually be able to do a thing on every day and actually have a thing planned for every day, like, I would love to do that. And in the sense of doing that, I would also want people involved on almost every day. I wouldn't want to do stuff myself all the time. So, yeah. Maybe if we're looking like 2020, so 2024 now would be the next one. Next leap year. And if we're in a position where maybe, I don't know, maybe we've all moved into a house, a bunch of us have moved to a house together, so we have regular access and we have all of these stuff in place and we don't have to be inside all the time because of a national pandemic, which, God forsake this fucking earth in 2024, and we're still dealing with this bullshit because people are stupid and won't just stay inside for like 2 months so the world can fucking settle. So we don't die, or people stop dying, or the people that, like, and the worst part is it's not the people, like, it's not natural selection at work because the stupid people aren't the people that are dying. Except for in a few cases, and you know what, most of those people that have died or almost died from getting it afterwards, like, yo man, I was wrong. Like, there's been so many news stories of people like, oh, it's fake, oh no, I've got it, I guess it wasn't fake. It's unfucking believable. And the 5G towers, there's more people here, so they put up more phone towers. And they put up more phone towers, and more people are getting the disease, because there's more, and it's totally not just because there's more people here. I mean, they've done all these changes to our rules, and our tier system and stuff, based on a new set of data. They've also done a whole bunch more tests, and they've been pushing tests, so they're comparing low numbers with low numbers of tests, with higher numbers with a higher number of tests, and it's not proportional. You need to take, like, proportional averages, like, pull this number down to here, pull this number down to here, so they're both the same fucking proportional value. You don't take the numbers as they are, which clearly they are, because this government's fucking stupid. Just like every, all these other fucking people. Like, this is, hi, welcome to Alex Vents about 2020, because the year has been god awful and has completely destroyed, like, half of the plans that he had. Namely, the actual interesting version of this series, which is honestly why I'm considered doing it again, because in my head going into it, this is a one and done series, and the money thing was the only reason I'd do it again. But now, because the whole world fucking ended, I'm actually considering doing it again in, well, I guess 3 years' time, because I'll be starting at New Year's fucking Eve, midnight, just like I did the first time, because that's actually a really good bit, and it's one of the best bits in the series, because it was before the world fucking ended. I've not gotten to the world ending yet in recording my, in editing my, like, 1 bit from every day thing that I'm going to be making. Which is also, this is going to be fun to rewatch when I'm doing that. But I haven't got to the world ending, I haven't got to the disease. I am at the beginning of March, I think. Yeah, I'm at like the beginning of March. I'm like 5 days into March. So I'm not quite at all the lockdowns and everything yet. I'm at like the early rumblings of the world ending. Like, I don't know how it's gonna go when we start looking into actually getting the world ending shit. And like, I mean, that's like as much as I've said, I want to see what this would be like without the limitations of the world ending. And as much as if we did it again in 2024, we could do stuff and it'd be a thing and it'd be completely different to what it is now, and it'd be completely different to what it would have been in the world that the world didn't, in the universe where the world didn't go into a global pandemic in this year and we actually did stuff. Like, that world, like the 2024 redo, if we do that, not only will we all be in completely different places, but like, one of the things, like I mentioned earlier, we were all going to get everyone together, have a weekend here with a whole bunch of us, and sit and watch WrestleMania in the evenings. God knows what we would have done in the days. Like, God knows what we would have done for the videos for that. Like, how many people are going to be involved, how the mass of people being involved would have changed what the video was, or how it went. Like, somewhere out there is a universe where COVID-19 never happened, or it happened but it didn't make its way out of China, or whatever. Like, and this series went on without that restriction. I would love to see the version of that from that universe. But as that's not possible, we don't have multiversal, I guess not television, but you know, multiversal vision of any sort, I suppose. I might have to settle for doing this again at some point. It's not next year, because I'm burnt out on this idea. I'm really burnt out on this whole thing. That, and again, if I'm going to do it again, I'd like it to be a leap year again, so at very least it's comparable. And that's the thing. If I'm going to do a Day of the Day to hopefully no lockdown Boogaloo, I would want it to be comparable to Day of the Day, fuck, we got shut down and kind of weren't able to do anything all year edition. But yeah, like, it would be, I have to do something every day, even if it's not relevant to the days. Like, fuck it, we did the last couple of weeks, oh, excuse me, we did do a video that was just us trying Tokyo Treat snacks, and had nothing to do with the day, but it was at least a thing, right? It wasn't me just talking. And I think that's the difference. That's the difference. And on top of it, like, but that whole thing is up in the air, right? That entire thing is up in the air, and ranting and raving and being pissed off at the world is something I'm very good at, and something that will continue to happen because, oh fucking god, I have a lot of to talk about. We'll get to the swearing thing eventually. I've mentioned it a few times in a few different videos, especially going through towards the end of this year, because I'm thinking of stuff to do next year. And yeah, the idea of doing the rant on me not understanding why people get so offended about swear words is on there. And there will be so much more. There will be so many more things. Deeper dive into my existence and psyche, maybe. Yeah. Like, and there are so many things outside of YouTube I want to do. I have ideas for games. I just need programmers and developers and animators and people that can actually do the stuff. I'm the writer for the game, and that's pretty much... I'm the writer, I have all the ideas, I know how the mechanic... Like, I know the general ideas for the mechanics, but I need people to implement them, right? Like, and nothing I'm thinking should be too complex. Well, not too complex, but not doable. Depending on which game we decide to make, right? But yeah, it's just that. It's like, I've mentioned from the beginning that I've been writing a card game. And that card game wasn't finished written at the beginning of the year, and it's not much closer to being finished written. Like, I have wrote more cards over this year, but it's no closer to being done. And I still haven't even really started on writing any of the 2 expansions I have planned. So that's a thing. But card game I have in production, and I will probably want to make more card games and board games and stuff. And I want to work with people. Like, I have ideas for days, so if any company in the world needs ideas for things, fucking hit me up. Hey, yo, anyone making a MOBA or fighting game that needs an idea for a character, contact me. The people that make Unmatched, y'all want ideas on how to make characters? Contact me. Y'all want to not kill your company by overpricing yourself and then, need some logistical ideas? Contact me. I have a lot of stuff I can do. I'm an ideas guy. I'm a very good ideas guy. I'm just not much else other than an ideas guy. Like, that is why I'm running the companies, because I get ideas. I'm good at ideas, and I'm good at, like, that bit. You do, and I'm good at, like, organizing people. I need you, though, to then do the thing. And, yeah, like, fuck. What else? I would love to do TV, if anyone... Like, I know TV's kind of a dying medium, but I would love to do TV. All the ideas I have for TV. There's a web series. It's just... These things need budget. Like, I have an idea for a show that's basically like Harry Hill's TV Burp, but not just for TV. It's for TV, it's for the internet, it's for media as a whole, right? Like, that kind of thing. Right, which I would have a whole segment that's just me ragging on ads, and honestly, ragging on ads might be what series I start doing. That's going to be a real pain in the ass to do, because that's going to be copyright hell, but... I've already pretty much decided I don't intend to monetize through YouTube. If I am ever going to monetize YouTube, it's going to be through external means, because YouTube monetization is fucking garbage. And why the hell would I use it by this point, when not only is it such a tiny, insignificant fucking cut of ad revenue, but the ad revenue itself is a pain in the ass to get into. And to get any decent ad revenue at all, you have to run a fuck ton of ads, and the ads are garbage. So I'd rather just, like, go, hey, Patreon, or anything else, pretty much. Honestly. And, again, I have all these ideas, but don't really know where to go with any of them. So, please do stick around. Please do share these things around and get... if you have contacts and you want to pass me contacts, that would be great. If you want to contact me for any of the things I said or anything else, like, I am full of fucking ideas. I would love to bounce ideas off of you if that's what you need. If again, I yell into the void endlessly of how people fail to do logistical things well or at all, really. Like, my mum will come home, again, I've mentioned before, my mum works at the high school as a dinner lady and at a primary school as a crossing guard, and in the sense of that, gets a pretty good idea of how both of the places are run, and I scream into the void in no end of how terribly they are run. They're trying to force big-ass full year groups of high school students through a lunchroom, like getting food, sitting down, eating, and clearing up and getting out, all of the whole year group in 15 minutes each. And if you can't see the problem with that, you need help, and if you can see the problem with that, you can see how awfully run these places are. And that's just one example. So yeah, I don't exist here for no reason. I don't do any of this for no reason. Or at least I try not to do this for any reason, for no reason. And again, I do not know what the future holds. For me, I do not know what we will do next. Here, I do not know. Here is the few things I know for certain. I know we're going to carry on with CCW. I know I'm going to, if not still very sporadically, stream on Twitch. I'm kind of thinking maybe as this year's New Year's resolution went kind of well, that maybe next year's is just to stream at least once a week. if minimum, if nothing else, just so there's something going regular. And I've said it before, I've said it again, I have a fuck ton of games on that computer that I need to play through or want to play through, and why not stream it? I started Fury, and Fury is still on that computer doing that years ago. Well, like 2 years ago by this point, maybe 3. No, it was after I graduated, I think, so it was 2 years ago. Oh, while I was waiting for graduation. It was after I'd finished uni. Like the work. It might have not been. It might have been before I actually, went and graduated. But, and yeah, I haven't touched Fury again because I intend to keep it for streams, but I haven't been streaming. So there's that. I want to say with certainty that there will be more tabletop movies, like the one we did yesterday, and the Monopoly one that was a few weeks back. Was it the beginning of this month? Or the beginning of I think it was like beginning of this month and the last month. And again, I'd want to do a Monopoly one, but with more people, more than just me and Dan. And I'd love to do a whole. I want to do Tabletop Civil War. Is an idea I had, where we get 2 teams and play through a bunch of team games that I have. But I don't know if that's going to happen either. I don't know what there is to come. And understandably, that's terrifying. I know this video is long. And honestly, I think even if I wasn't alone, this video would be really long. But it's different kind of long because I'm alone, isn't it? If it was me talking to someone, it'd be different. It certainly wouldn't be as ranty and ravey. But this is where we've got to. This is where we've become. Now, I'm not going to start the recording again. I'm going to let the timer run out. And there is... my eyes are blurring and I'm too far away from the camera to see, but about a minute left, I think. We are coming to the end of this video. And with it, the end of the series. And we have very little time. I'm waiting for the computer to load up to give you an actual time. We have just under 3 hours left of 2020. And the start of 2021 will not be the saver and fixer of all those things. And no one should expect it to be. But what we can do is hope 2021 is better. That it fixes the things eventually, and we can get back to normal and be better and stronger for it. And I want things to be interesting again. And interesting in the fun way, not in the we're stuck at home and the world keeps getting worse way. I will see you sometime in the